one wants to fight for Israel.
His hand. Oh, his hand.
We just witnessed a Marine veteran interrupting the hearing, and they broke his arm.
Why did he interrupt the hearing?
Because there is a war in Iran, and our military brothers and sisters are going to die for Israel, and we are here to say no. We do not support Israel. We do not want to die for Israel. Stop the war in Iran right now.
And what did they do to him?
They pulled him out, got his arm trapped in a door, broke his arm, tackled him to the ground. It was a very, very intense situation.
No one wants to fight for Israel.
His hand. Oh, his hand.
Stand up as a Marine and stand up for America. No one wants to fight for Israel.
Oh my God, they broke his arm. Oh man.
This is Israel's war. This is not the United States' war.
Being a conservative or being a Trump supporter or being part of MAGA does not mean you have to accept another Middle East war.
Over the last few days, some very prominent MAGA voices have been speaking out against Trump's war with Iran.
And so you're seeing this crazed, hysterical, in fact, effort to purge anyone in the conservative movement or MAGA, whatever those are, to purge anyone who had any doubt about the wisdom of this war.
It is absolutely America last. It's the same we've seen. What is happening to the man that I supported, you supported, the man that denounced what happened in Iraq?
From Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, and Marjorie Taylor Greene to Dave Smith, a comedian and podcaster who endorsed Trump back in 2024, but has since said that was a mistake.
Donald Trump has made his bed. Like, this really is it.
And there's already talk about how this will affect Republicans in this year's midterm elections and even the 2028 presidential election.
I hope the Republicans lose the midterms this year. They need to. For the country, they need to be destroyed, and no one from this administration can be supported in 28. J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Tulsi Gabbard.
One of my things with Trump was it was going to be America first. That was the rhetoric he was running on. That's why I kind of wanted it. No new wars. He wanted to end the wars with Ukraine, Russia. And this feels like a step backwards. It's not that I disagree with the war or the strikes. That's with time to come, especially. We need to learn more and see what's going to happen. But it felt like a step back from what he was saying. Russia, we cannot destabilize Russia at this point. It would be too big of a mess. Iran, we, at this point, obviously want to destabilize Iran and make that change. Russia's too much of a global superpower at this point. I just don't see that happening. Trump came in saying, we're going to have a strong country, and these rest of these countries are going to know we're a strong country. I think he set the tone. He said, this is what we want. And everyone kind of sat there and said, all right, let's not get in any wars. Let's be strong. I definitely want a very strong country with a very strong head. We love strong leadership, but you can't go back on something you're saying just because you want to be strong. You can't go back on saying, no, we're not going to go into wars, but we have to be strong. You need to find that middle place, or don't say that we will not go into any new wars, we will not be in the Middle East. Don't say that if that's not what you're going to do. In the same way, he said, we don't want new regime changes. He went in, did it in Venezuela, and now he's going in and doing it in Iran. And he said he wasn't gonna. So it instills a little bit of a distrust in when you tell me we're gonna do something, and then first year you turn your back on it and then pretend like everything is happy-go-lucky and we're doing so great. That's probably what our excuse was when we went in for oil. And I think it was probably a little bit of both. And not as much of like, we want to stop this guy from just being a bad guy. It was more, let's expand our country and like put points, like same thing with Iran, same thing with Venezuela. We're going to assert our dominance. We're going to make sure nobody around us thinks that they're bigger or badder. Iran, I'm not ready to say that it's the right or wrong move yet. It's the same way we weren't sure if Afghanistan was going to be the right or wrong move yet, back when it first started happening. We're not sure. We'll see how it goes. It could absolutely turn into the right move. Or we could stay in Iran for 30 plus years, spend a ton of money that could be spent at home.
Terror in the region, terror against American citizens, civilians, and you're also wiping out their defense capabilities. And we haven't seen, as of right now, Russia or China really come to back them in any more than just maybe words. And even some of our key allies in the region have stepped forward, and Iran is now, with what defense they have, tried to just attack anyone who has American aid or a way to help defend the United States or bases. And I think that's just them sort of scrambling one last gasp of air. And it would be nice to see regime change, not saying that we should necessarily be boots on the ground involved and as deeply entrenched as, say, Iraq. But that's sort of my thought. I think it's overall positive.
I think what he's trying to do is just end it, and that's what he did promise. So I feel like that. I mean, he took out the leader of what we heard, and he wants he wants a new government there because they're possessing nuclear weapons, and with a terrorist organization that's sponsoring all these terrorists, I don't know. I think it's the right move.
Obviously, we're advocating for regime change, which I think is needed, but there's really no plan, or at least not from what we've seen, there's no plan in place for that regime change. You know, he's telling the people of Iran to rise up and take over the government, and that's easier said than done. I just don't feel like there's a plan in place right now. So why are we... I agree with the killing of their supreme leader, but why are we taking these actions when there's no specific plan right now, or none that we know of? I just have those worries for the future, what's going to happen next. And I think that's the same discussion to be said about Venezuela, is what's going to happen next. Like, here we did a great thing, but now what's the next move?
播报新闻是我的日常，必须时刻保持妆容和皮肤的最佳状态。当来到人生中最重要的时刻，也是 KS 逆时奇迹帮助我轻松驾驭，闪闪发光。KS 逆时奇迹活肤露全效精华、精华霜，多达5种 EGF 6大冻龄关键成分，保湿效果让我非常满意，小细纹也不再困扰我。我就是我自己的最佳女主角 ，KS 让我从容自信，光彩动人。我是我人生中的大女主，我的最爱我做主。KS 逆时奇迹系列热卖中，下单请上快点购，透过中天新闻网 App 下单立减50，或输入 CTI 推荐码有额外折扣。